Hello everyone, and thank you for reviewing the MIS 3000 Team 4 project. Today we're going to review some background information on our client, discuss our challenge, define our goal, outline what we need to complete that goal, review the solution, discuss our justification for implementing this solution, and look at what we can do going forward. For the record, all names have been changed for privacy purposes. Alpha recently acquired Beta in a leveraged buyout. Alpha uses a proprietary program for employee scheduling. Beta uses software that was purchased from a vendor. Alpha Inc. now needs to incorporate the software utilized by Beta and integrate it with the existing employee scheduling and enterprise risk management software. Omega, the vendor that Beta purchased the scheduling software from, has offered to sell an application program interface, or API, to Alpha for a $550,000 enterprise license fee. Alpha is currently in the process of developing a new scheduling and ERM platform that will work across both companies' legacy employees, so any integration with Beta's program will be temporary as it will eventually be sunsetted. All scheduling creation and system entry and maintenance of legacy Alpha employees is handled by one group within Alpha. Employee scheduling functions for legacy Beta employees are handled by 3 separate groups within Beta, with some of those functions having been transferred to the scheduling group in Alpha. The distribution of scheduling functions across 4 work groups and 2 software systems has led to a daily 18% schedule error rate for legacy Beta employees. Due to the systems across both companies not communicating, this is resulting in a large number of missed customer commitments, cancellations, and lost revenue. Currently, Alpha software engineers have access to the backend database for Beta's vendor-provided software. Since Beta chose to purchase only what was needed from the vendor to fit the needs of the business at that time, the database does not contain a structured employee schedule in any format that can be utilized by a schedule quality check team to verify that employees are where they are needed when they are needed. Our goal is to reduce the schedule errors in an effort to decrease these customer cancellations and reduce lost revenue. To achieve this goal, we're going to need to collect some information. We will need to identify the general employee information, name, location, net credit service or hire in date, skill sets, equipment from both Alpha and Beta scheduling tools, employee schedule information such as working days, hours, scheduled days off, paid time off, any meeting or training time, again from both scheduling systems. We'll need to list any databases where this is stored and acquire any access that may be needed. We'll need to acquire a list of tables within these databases where the information is stored, and we'll need to define the database schemas for all involved. The first step to reducing errors is to consolidate the number of groups that are performing schedule functions. For this step, the creation of schedules for legacy Beta employees will be transitioned to Alpha scheduling team. Alpha scheduling group currently has the bandwidth to handle the additional workload, and this will provide the opportunity to have Beta schedule build team transition into a capacity planning and forecasting role. Maintenance of future schedules and any changes will also be handled by Alpha scheduling group. Changes to employee schedules that are requested day of will be handled by the Beta groups that are now acting in a capacity planning role. The work that Beta's current capacity planning team will be rebalanced amongst the Beta teams in a force load analyst position will be created within these groups to review and report on how effective forecasted loads were and to make recommendations to improve the capacity planning process. Once the work functions have been redistributed, Alpha software developers will create an application that will identify any schedule errors between legacy Beta and Alpha systems. This will ensure that we have employees where and when they are needed to meet customer demand. Any errors identified by this application will be corrected by Alpha scheduling group. This new application will be web-based with the front end created in JavaScript, ColdFusion, HTML, and CSS. The back end for the application will be written in Python using SQL Alchemy, object relational models, and multiprocessing libraries for Python. This program will create 5 processes. 4 for each database that feeds into the legacy Alpha scheduling application, and 1 for Beta's work order booking and routing application. These processes will run parallel to improve efficiency and save time. The script will query all 5 databases for every employee that exists in both systems. It will then format the schedule data from each system in a manner that is comparable and determine any differences and record them. Once complete, it will aggregate the results from each database and write them to a Microsoft SQL database. The end user will be able to access these schedule errors via the front end, inputting any constraints on the errors they want to achieve. These constraints may be for any date range, region, work group, or even a specific employee. Once the new application is completed, schedule errors are accessible via the web-based front end. All scheduling, capacity planning, and forecasting teams will be able to identify these scheduling errors. The scheduling group will determine which system is in error and make the necessary corrections. Capacity planning and forecasting can utilize the number of errors to either adjust or reinforce force-to-load numbers. And this is just a quick data flow diagram reviewing the process once the end user is requesting the schedule error report. Now, our business case for implementing this solution is around due to missed customer commitments. Alpha is seeing an increase in service cancellations resulting in a loss of revenue. This new application will allow the schedule team to quality check the schedules of Beta Corp's employees. The cost to develop the application will be roughly $25,000, and the full-time equivalent will be 2 employees, resulting in an annual cost of $177,000 to correct any scheduling errors identified by the tool. The current forecasted revenue loss due to cancellations from missed commitments is roughly $1.125 million. Alpha is currently has the scheduling group already in place that can handle the maintenance of these schedules. Going forward, we do have additional opportunities for automation and analytics using the schedule error to try to define the root cause of these errors and eventually wipe them out. This new application, once live, will receive full production support and will have development operations team utilizing agile methodologies to continuously improve the application based on user feedback. This will require input from the end users of all departments involved. Thank you for reviewing this project. If you have any questions, please email the names listed below.